Bless up, all Earth citizens. Getting the stream going before I start flowing, so you can be knowing what I know when it comes to wealth. Wealth is good for your health, however you want to put it, right? All kinds of wealth out here. It's monetary wealth. It's other kinds of wealth that people don't really know about. They're all tied together, no matter the weather. So you got to be clever and not get tricked by these forces out here that want to keep control, that want us to go and play into their role in their games. And it's always going to be the same. Even before there was borders on the map, it was people trying to pull that trap. So I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna look at a few different money things today. First thing I'm gonna do is look into Bitcoin and some crypto stuff, and I'm gonna look into some trending stuff, some other money plays that I just made. And before I do that, I want to speak on something that's on my mind for today. So I'm looking at the big game that they just played with that football, right? And man, I saw that ahead of time, right? Because I was like, I know by now I've been watching that game for a while, and it's a business before anything, right? Like the system that runs it is a corporation, organization, and they got money on their mind before anything else. And it's clear to me that I can see, because when you look at it, when you check it, like I saw it, I was like, I've seen it in the past too, right? Like certain markets might not be that active. They might not be getting that much income from certain markets. So, hey, why not let a team from that certain market win, right? Why not make it so that they're kind of being getting like favored, or they're kind of they're kind of oppressing the other team to make sure that a certain team wins, because they know that that's going to make them more money because they're looking at it. Now I was just yeah, man, I was just down in Tampa like the day before that game, and I didn't see too many people really traveling out there. Like it was really nothing going on down there, right? Like it was pretty empty. Um, but I already saw that. Like I kind of had a feeling before, even kind of a week or two before. I was like, okay, like I see what they're setting it up for. They want to get that new money from that new market. You know, they got a lot of people that they could benefit from monetarily that weren't really into that sport, that would really probably jump on that bandwagon if that team won. So I was like, oh man, they're gonna set it up for that, because what they do is like the refs will be maybe a lot or a little bit more strict on one team and kind of let things go for the other team, but they'll never admit that. But really what I'm getting at with all this is like, this is a pretty good metaphor for like the system, right? Because it's all part of the same system, the same mindset of oppression and keeping people down. Basically, I saw it pretty clearly. And one thing I think was interesting is like, a lot of people in it, I think from what I see, it was a certain point where like one team clearly realized that like they were being favored, that like only penalties were being called on the other team. And hey, like I'm not, I'm trying to stay biased in all this because that's how I make money off this stuff. I mean, I had the odds in my favor big time. Like, man, I put my money down on the winning team ahead of time because I already saw this, right? And I was like, oh man, I can just see this unfolding right now. But anyways, what I'm getting at is that's pretty clear to everybody, right? Like certain things are set up to like make sure certain people get ahead and make sure certain people are pushed back. So what happened is at a certain point, I feel like one of the teams clearly realized like, hey, they're doing everything they can to make sure we win. And then what happened at a certain point was a certain star player on that team kind of got like, I don't know what the word would be, but he decided like, hey, I can pretty much do anything and they're not gonna like do anything to me. And well, what he did was he ran up on somebody from the other team. He ran up on the guy and started yelling at him, like sent a lot of hate towards him, right? And all the guy did was pretty much like made the mistake of kind of looking at him and just saying something back. And what happened? They threw the penalty on the guy that responded, the guy that was minding his own business, because the other guy, I think he understood, like, hey, they're gonna side with me no matter what I do, right? Like he knew in the back of his mind, like, hey, they're trying to keep these guys down. So if I run up on them and this guy even looks at me wrong, they're gonna, penalize him hard, right? So that guy took advantage of that. And I think he did that. I don't know if he was conscious that he was doing it or if it was like an unconscious thing that he was just like taking advantage of the system that he was in. But it was pretty clear what happened. Like he ran up to the guy and yelled at him. And the guy just kind of like, responded back. And he was the one that got penalized. Well, I saw that and I was like, man, that's just like that's wrong. Like, how can they do that? Well, sure enough, like I think a lot of other people like saw that too, because the next day what happens, right? One of the big stories trending in the news is you might have seen this, that the one player sent an apology to the other player. And man, when do you see that after a football game that this guy apologized to this guy? All that was that I'm seeing is that's just like their PR trying to, trying to make it seem like it's not what it is. Oh, he apologized, he didn't really take advantage of the privilege he had. It wasn't like that. No, he apologized, he was sorry for it. It's not what you think, right? I mean, hey, like that's what I see. Whatever you want to see, like I'm just trying to help people open up their eyes. But really, you just got to be aware, because like you can see certain things like that was money to me. Like I was like, dude, this system's set to make sure that a certain team wins and a certain team loses. So if I'm like having that hunch ahead of time, why not make some money and put it down on the winning team, and use that money to make people more aware of what's going on out here. So yeah, get into some more money things. You can find what money brings. Getting into the crypto, the Bitcoin, and what I'm seeing is some red at the top, and green going down. So yeah, Bitcoin just had another huge day or two. The other day, the price raised like $8,000 in a single day, one of the biggest days ever. And a lot of this was due to the fact that Elon Musk decided that for his company of Tesla, that they should invest, a lot of their holdings into Bitcoin. Basically, that makes sense, because I mean, it's smart with the money game. Like, you don't just leave. Like as a business, you want to have money that, like they say, like cash is king, right? Like, because if you run out of cash, you're like, it's pretty hard to keep your business going unless something more, and if you can't find more, that's what it is. You got to keep that money on the sideline. But if you keep it in the bank, I mean, it's just going to lose value over time and the bank's going to be making money off it. So why not be your own bank? And what Elon Musk did was decide, yeah, I'm going to use some of our reserves and put it into Bitcoin. And that was, I think, something like 1.5. I can't remember the exact amount, but it was over $1 billion that they bought, which would explain, why the price went up so much. Went up from like 38 to like 48. Well, anyways, it's corrected a little bit today. It's down like 4% right now to like 45,000. Long term, I'm still super bullish on it. Like I still think like Bitcoin's going to get 100,000 easy. I wouldn't be surprised, like I said before, 500,000 in the next few years. Ethereum too. Ethereum's pretty important. I think actually Ethereum might even outperform Bitcoin in the short term coming up, just because like there's a smaller market cap, meaning there's less money in it. So it would take less amount. Like if the same $1 billion went into Bitcoin, it might only go up a couple percent. But if $1 billion went into Ethereum, it would go up way more. So You got the Bitcoin, you got the Ethereum. You can even trade Bitcoin against Ethereum. You can like change a little bit of Bitcoin over to Ethereum, and then after it goes up, change it back to Bitcoin, and then you made yourself more Bitcoin. But I want to look at some of these other coins too. So you got the Cardano went up a lot. Cardano's now number 4, basically right behind Ethereum. So Cardano looks like went up the most, pretty much out of the top players. And yeah, Cardano's been around for a while. Cardano's got a smaller market cap than Ethereum, so it's still a way to go. But looking at something like this, like I want to show you, right? Like this thing has gone up like let's see, just in the past week, this thing has gone up 95% about, right? The past month, it's gone up about 180%. 3 months, about 700%. I mean, as you saw with like what was going on with GMC and GME, GameStop, and AMC, the theater company, they had a huge short squeeze. Everybody got hyped up and started buying it after it had already gone up like over 500%. And where is it at right now? It's close to back where it started. So, a lot of the hype, a lot of the media when it came in, it had already gone past the time you want to get it. So I'm looking at this like I don't have any Cardano, or no, maybe I do from like a while back on another exchange that I'm going to talk about in a minute. But looking at this, I mean, Cardano is like has a chance of getting big, has a chance of not getting big, has a chance of crashing soon, has a chance of going up double in the next month or whatever. But I feel like Bitcoin is like the key thing. Like Bitcoin is the safest place to have your money. Like Bitcoin is definitely the future, no matter what. Who knows with these other coins what it's going to be. So looking at Cardano, like I would not buy that right now. I was like, okay, like I should have, if I was going to buy that, more of that, like I'll wait for a big correction, whenever that is. Wait for it to like crash down a lot. Because I could buy right now and it could crash down tomorrow like 40%. Then I would feel pretty stupid. And I've made that mistake in the past, and so I don't do that again. But yeah, looking at that, so I'm on to the next one, right? Which is Binance Coin. So Binance Coin, I got that one a long time ago, and this one has gone up crazy, right? Like basically, Binance is a exchange, so it's like a marketplace where you can buy crypto, and it's located, I believe, in so like the person it was originally like created in Asia. I can't remember what country, but I wish I could remember the name of the country. But it's like a small island that has really good tax laws that basically Binance moved to that island. But in my opinion, it is like the best run exchange, like the easiest exchange to use. Unfortunately, so when I first got into crypto, like I got into maybe like 4 or 5 different exchanges, and I pretty much like was using Binance. After a while, I would mostly use Binance because it was just the best to me. And then what happened was they changed the laws, so they made it that you couldn't use Binance in the US anymore. The US kind of banned it. So that I had to stop using Binance. But before I stopped using it, I transferred pretty much everything I had on Binance into the Binance coin. And so each exchange, not every exchange, but most of the major exchanges have their own coin. Like Binance Coin, if you own that coin, you're basically getting paid like interest for holding that. Like I would kind of see it as like a bank. You give your money to the bank, they basically give you little to nothing in return, but they're pooling everybody's money up and they're like using it to make money off it, get interest off of your money. Well, what these exchanges are doing, making you your own bank, is that if you keep your money on that platform and you put it in that exchange's coin, in this case Binance Coin, BNB, they'll give you interest, right? And it's way more than like the bank would be. It's like more like a fair rate. Like they're giving you a lot more than they'd be making from holding your money. And it makes sense to them because they would want people to be rewarded from holding this because the more people that buy it, the better that is, the more funding they have for their exchange, stuff like that. So it makes sense for them, unlike where a bank is more like on the greed thing, like, hey, like, give us your money. You should be saving money and so we can make money off of it and not putting it to work and not flipping it. That's kind of what the system does to keep people down. This new way with crypto where you can be your own bank, cut out the middleman. That's what they do. So, anyways, looking at this Binance, like I remember getting it when it was at like $10 or something like that, right? And just in the past week, it's gone up 141%. In the past month, it's gone up about 193%, right? It's hard to say. Is it gonna, crash maybe 50% over the next month? Is it gonna keep going up? Who knows? But I'm not selling because I mean, I have a feeling that in the future, finance is not going to be banned globally or to the extent that it is right now. People in the U.S. will be able to use Binance again, and plus, I mean, there's way more people in Asia than there are in the U.S. anyway, and way more people in crypto in Asia than there are in the U.S. So really, Binance to me, like this would be a really bad time to buy it, in my opinion. Like I would wait for it to crash before you go and buy it, because like I said, I bought it at $10, so why would I buy it right now again when it's at like $125 right now? I would wait. If I was gonna buy it, I'd wait till it like crashed a bunch or something like that. But going on to the next thing, I actually did buy a little bit of crypto today because I did see a coin that I've been waiting on buying for a while that looked like a good deal to me, and that would be Chainlink, LINK. That one's about $26.50 right now. So basically, I've been looking at this for a while. I didn't really know too much about it, but I saw it was like climbing up, gaining popularity. I've been aware about it for about a year, and I was thinking about buying it down at like $10, and I didn't, and then I kind of regretted it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch this thing, and next time it looks like a good time to buy, I'm gonna get in, and that's what I just did today. Looking at this chart, I think there's a very good chance of making a big move like Cardano just made, right? It's hasn't really gone up too much, right? So I'm looking at the past week and it's only gone up 7.25%. The past day, it's only gone up less than a percent, right? It crashed when I bought it, like it's gone up just since I bought it even today. Like last night it was at like $28.50. And then this morning it was at like $25.70. But looking at this chart, I can see that it's been like, testing this resistance that's at like $28. And it's been testing that, kind of climbing up to that for close to that, maybe, it's been you at 20 at resistance. So like the bottom has been like 20 for maybe like right before the end of January. And then, 25 to 28, it's kind of the range. It's been like bouncing around, but it's like doing something that usually ends up breaking up. So I'm looking at this like, okay, this kind of looks like a good idea to me. So yeah, I bought a little bit of Cardano today. I mean, not Cardano. I was talking about so many coins, man. I forget the name sometimes. The Chainlink. Yeah. So yeah, that's the money. I mean, that's like, like I'm always saying, like, don't buy it because I said, like, don't just go and listen to people and do what they're doing. And like, it's super easy to figure this out for yourself. Like, I guarantee you, this money game, like, is way easier than going to college and getting a job, right? If you take the initiative to actually like decide like, hey, I want to be wealthy, right? Like I'm trying to move up in life, and you take your own course and you decide your own destiny in life, and you'll find how easy it is. What's difficult to me is working for somebody else who's telling you how much you can make, and putting in like a ridiculous like 40 hours a week. I mean, like, how many people are working so much and living under poverty when there's like trillions of dollars floating around every day in these markets? I mean, this is to learn this stuff is way, way, way easier, way less resistance than the way the system is set up right now, for people to become wealthy or make money. Like, most successful people will tell you, you'll never get wealthy working for somebody else. Um, so yeah, looking at it, there's a lot of wealth floating around. I'm trying to like, just put this information out and hopefully it gets to the right people so they can become more aware of what's going on, and you can see basically more capital, more people having what they want, more people living how they should, and not because when more people become aware, more the way the system is set up to oppress people, it makes it a lot harder for them to do it, right? Like, they try to say like, oh, just forget about it. Oh, he apologized, whatever. No, if you just say, okay, I guess I'll just go back to everything else. No, like, it's not like that. That's how they keep you down. That's how they oppress people and keep you poor and broke. That's why you need to have the mental knowledge, the awareness of what's going on. Because like I'm saying, it's not about like how much work you do. Like, they want you to think so you can buy more stuff. It's about how aware you are. You know, it's about the mindset. The mindset is going to make you way more money, compared to how hard you work. So looking at this, I just see there's a question here real quick. What are my thoughts on Ether? So if you're still there, my thoughts on Ether, I was talking about Ethereum at the beginning of this video. So I'm about to just go over it again, kind of real quick, and summarize it. But if you want to know more, you can go back. My thoughts on Ether are it will outperform Bitcoin in the like short term, right? Like, I have not bought Ethereum since it was at like maybe $400 or $500 or something like that. Right now it's at like 1700. I mean, looking at this chart, like, Bitcoin just made a big move. Ethereum is really kind of doing what I was just talking about with Chainlink. And if I didn't have Ethereum, I would probably buy some right now. But yeah, I mean, I think it's way more likely for Ethereum to go up. And like, you hear about all these like big companies like Tesla that just bought a lot of Bitcoin, and a lot of Apple's talking about doing it now too. And I think this is just the beginning, because I think another part of this is like some of these companies that have already before, smaller companies, that just the media wouldn't really like pick up on. They have already converted their savings into Bitcoin, and some of these companies have gone up. Their stock has just skyrocketed. So I mean, that's every company. If they see that's pretty much like something you should be aware of, is like trends, because like when that happens and all these other companies are looking at that like, well, hey, these guys bought X amount of Bitcoin with their savings and their stock just went up 1,000%. So maybe if we buy it too, our stock will go up a bunch. That makes Bitcoin go up too. That's good for everybody. So I think this is just a start. You had Tesla, now you have Apple talking about maybe they're going to do it, which means they probably are already in the works of doing it, and like the people there have probably already bought it themselves. But yeah, if that Tesla's price keeps going up because of it, Apple does it and their price go up, you can pretty much expect that a lot of other companies will. And then this applies to Ethereum and Ether, because I think they just haven't gotten on to Ether yet to the extent they will with Bitcoin. I think that Bitcoin is going to the market cap is going to get really big, and they're going to see a way better return on their investment by putting their money into Ethereum. So I'm really bullish on Ethereum, in a way more bullish, just that in the short term, the price will go up more than Ethereum will, like in relation to Bitcoin and Ethereum. But yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, Bitcoin is going to be still the king, you know. Ethereum, I would be surprised if one day Ethereum had a bigger market cap than Bitcoin. If it does better than Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin is always going to be, as far as all crypto goes, have the biggest market cap. That's going to be like the really the safest place to put the majority of your money that you have in crypto. Which, just like all money, should be money that you are not afraid to lose. The scared money doesn't make money, and yeah, you can't be worried about, like, you can't think like, well, I'm just going to put this in here for a month and I'll take it out if I need it a month from now. No, I should be looking at it like I'm flipping this money. Like, that's the mindset of like the successful people I've studied is, just get the money and flip it and put it into something and kind of forget about it and just move on to the next thing. And you just keep doing that. And then you never know like which seed is going to grow the biggest. So there's all these different seeds out here you can be planting. I mean, keeping yourself working for one person or one company or whatever, that's like you're just limiting yourself, right? Like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Every day the bucket goes to the well, one day the bottom must drop out, you know? So why not have a lot of buckets? Okay. Um, I think that's going to be it for the crypto portion. Looking into some stock market stuff. AMC. I just kind of rebought into AMC today a little bit from what I sold back when it was up more. So basically, yeah, I originally bought AMC when it was like $2.50 a while ago. Um, had a huge short squeeze, went up to like $20, and I sold the majority of it. All in between 10 and 20, but it crashed so quick. I mean, big part of that was because of certain exchanges not playing fair and trying to make sure the rich don't lose too much money, even though it costed, the retail investors, like the normal people, a lot of money. They stopped people from being able to buy it, which made the price just crash hard, right? And then they come out like, oh, we didn't do that because we were trying to uh, stop the rich people from losing so much money because they were overextended on this one thing and it didn't work out for them. So, uh, you know, basically they're trying to say it was because of some other reason that didn't make any sense. It's just their like corporate response because they would never admit. That's another thing with this system, man. Like they'll never admit fault unless their back is really against the wall. Uh, Most people don't force them to that. Most people just let things go. Most people don't say like, no, I want you, like I want people to know what's going on here. But anyways, what happened, right? Like, I feel like this is probably bottomed out. When it like yesterday, it hit like $5. It's at like 5.75 right now. Well, yeah. So I mean, AMC, I think is still like a really good, movie theaters, right? They're just starting to open back up. AMC was looking like it might go bankrupt before. Now they got the money they need to stay open for at least a while. I think, people are going to get vaccinated. People are going to be going back to the movies again. Now maybe this goes down to like $4. I might buy a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, it's just like I just saw that today. Wanted to show it to people that take a look for yourself. Don't go on and do something because you heard it from me. Just like become aware of it because you saw it, and then go and like decide for yourself what you want to do. But yeah, look at Trading View. Look at these charts. Just type in AMC. Yeah, so last thing I'm gonna talk about today, what I'm seeing, the only trending thing that really, in my opinion, has anything to do with money and is not just like the media putting out garbage that's gonna, get people to follow their system more obediently or ignore or get people, on that like um, lower level of awareness type, like he said, she said, and gossip. Like I'm looking at this stuff today that's all trending today, and most of it is like gossip and like um, stuff about celebrities and like that's really not gonna that's gonna just distract you from like what you would want to do in life, from like doing your own thing, being your own person. So anyways, the only thing I'm seeing is TLRY stock, and they're talking about how to buy it. Well, this thing just went up a ton, right? It's probably hitting resistance right now. Or the herb stocks just went up a ton. Ever since certain laws changed in the part of the earth that imaginary boundaries have been drawn around and is called America. They have changed laws regarding herbs, certain herbs, and basically because of that, the stocks that are associated with these certain herbs have gone way up. And as you can see today, now they're trying to tell people how to buy them after they've already, gone way up. And in my opinion, it's a really bad time to buy. I mean, it could go up more, but just something I think that people should be aware of, that they can see and watch it. But yeah, I think as far as these herb stocks go, like there's only a few out there right now, and there's going to be a lot more in the future. I hear a lot of people talking about the Planet and Planet 13, and I went there years ago, um, and I don't see it as being any better or any different than any other place. It just has it's just available to be traded when a lot of other places aren't. But a lot of people are hyping it up right now, and it's gone up a lot. A lot of these other companies are, but I think there's definitely a big future with this. I think it'll go up a lot more in the future too, just not like it just has. So this is how the media is going to try to like get people on this greed. They're going to show like, hey, here's how you buy this. This just went up like 50% in the last week. And it's like that's not when you want to buy. Like that's when the people who write these articles already bought it and they don't want the price to crash. So they're trying to get people that don't understand it to take that risk so that they can maybe drive the price up. But yeah, I bet you whoever wrote that article is not buying more today. They already bought that probably like a month or two ago, like I did. Right. Like I was buying this before. I was buying all these in an ETF basically. Like there's some ETFs out there. Just do your own research, because can't really say the names of these on here without them limiting the views and stuff. So, I'm talking about, the herb stocks. So, yeah, go check those out. Check out the ETFs, the most popular ones. Um, very, very good in my opinion. Like the main one. I'm actually going to look at that chart right now just before I go out. So, kind of explain it real quick. Yeah, MJ, like Michael Jordan, ETF. You can look it up. And yeah, man, like this thing is 32.88 today. I was buying it down at like the $10 range. So like basically since the mid March, and this thing was way up. Okay, so first I would look at this from a longer term, right? Like when it first came out in 2016, it was at like 25. Right before 2019, when the media was really hyping it up and a lot of people were buying it before, it was up at like 40, right? And then it crashed all the way to about $10 when I started buying it back in end of March. And then I was buying it all kind of from there to 20, right? And just the beginning of December, it hit went down to like, did a little correction. It was right before that, it was at like between 15 and 16, went down to like 14, and from the beginning of December to now, it's more than doubled, gone up more than 100%. It's at like 32, which, looking at the past high back in September of 2018, it was at like 40. So, there's really like before it hits that, I mean, another $8 to go. But it's just gone up so much right now. I wouldn't buy anything that's gone up like that much that quick and hasn't corrected yet. You're taking a big risk, and you don't need to do that. Like, don't let the media get you in that trap. Like, there's a lot of money out here, but yeah, I was already talking about that. What I was about to say. It's all good though, because I've been going over the time anyway. So it is what it is. I'm doing this for the love of it, not for the likes. But if you got some value, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. So yeah, if anybody's got a question or comment real quick, wait for 1 second. But if not, yeah. That's it for today. I hope you got some value out of what I had to say. Was trying to bring to you new information with no delay. So that's it for today. Out.